Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 3 or Episode 4. I think it's Episode 3, you guys. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show opens where it ended last week. You know, they're at this spa day. They're having a little retreat for the girls, and Tiffany came in with the mess. So her and Stormy and Kiki, they're still going over the problems. Of course, Tiffany is still arguing how important family is to her. You don't do that to family. She didn't have that big of a family, so she values them, yada, yada, yada. Finally, Letitia had to get up and calm Kiki down because she could tell that Kiki was about to go real left. What I noticed that Love and Marriage Huntsville has done, they've done it in the past, they continue to do it, is that they show us things in the previews that they don't actually show when the show is on. Because remember when Stormy and Kiki apparently had got into it at this spa day, and we saw Stormy say, and you would have got popped right back? I'm assuming that Kiki said that she was going to hit Stormy for the things that she had said. And Stormy said she was going to pop her right back. They didn't show any of that. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I do know why they do that, because they're trying to make sure that we watch. But then it's just sort of misleading because now you guys have edited it out like it didn't really happen. Definitely tension was high. Stormy was like, look, if you had a problem with what I said at the party, why you didn't shut the shit down then? You waited all this time to finally come and, confront Kimmy, confront me, and saying that I had said these things. The rumors was out, and then here come the cousin co-signing it. Of course people are going to believe it if family is co-signing. I mean, I understood what Stormy was saying, but like I said, they edited stuff out, so I don't even feel like we really genuinely know what exactly was said in this conversation. All I can say is everybody was mad. Mel gets up. She's just sort of like, you know what? She did not come here for this.
When they told me that we was going to be having spa day, this is not what I was expecting.
Of course, when she thinks of spa day, she thinks of relaxing massages, maybe some meditation, getting some deep tissue massage. They do a flashback. Remember that first or second season when Mel had invited Kimmy and them, or was it Kimmy had invited Mel and Letitia over to the house, and then they got into that big confrontation in the backyard. Remember when they was telling Mel that she was bougie? Okay. So yes, we have had some fisticuffs at the spa days in the past. However, Mel ain't on that no more. You know what? She's leaving. I don't blame her. Nobody feel like hearing this mess. She gets dressed. She comes back in there, and she just tells the ladies,
maybe it'll be best if everybody was feeling away. We could just tone it down some.
Anyway, Mel was just like, yeah, no ma'am, no sir, I did not come for this. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime. So, but they all feel like, hey, it was a productive night. Yes, we did get into some argument and everything, but we ain't got into no fight. All right. Nobody wanted to jump up and beat nobody's ass, at least from what we saw on the TV show. And so, yeah, this has been a good night. Okay. Stormy says it's good to get things out, instead of keeping it bottled up inside. Then you blow up, you end up saying shit that maybe you didn't want to say. So if everybody can just be rational and discuss, we can move forward. That's always the word, you guys, moving forward. Thanks for inviting everybody, Letitia. And I guess depending on who you ask, it was a good time. Let's jump over to the men. So the men, they like to meet each other out at the batting cage. Seems to be the place that they like to go, just so that they can catch up on what's going on in each other's lives. So at first we see Maurice and Martell at the batting cage. Maurice gets a call. It's Sheree. Okay. He doesn't answer the phone. I was just like, it's so funny that we see the commercials for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Sheree is just big up in Martell, and that's her man, and they've been seeing each other for some time, and blopty blue. Honey, let Martell tell it. They just friends. She's sweet and everything, but it's funny how you can see the two different storylines on the two different shows. Not that we're all that surprised. Nobody really believes that this is a real relationship. But yeah, it's just interesting the way that he kind of portrays Sheree on the show. Maurice was just like, well, I guess you didn't answer. Last time I saw you, you was playing an escort. Okay, flashback to when he was trying to walk Mel out. He was just like, well, that's the mother of my 4 children. I'm always gonna make sure that she's okay. But what this got to do with Sheree though? Well, the guys like to tease Martell. Okay, I think deep down inside they live vicariously through Martell and all the scandal that he. They ain't quite got the teeth for it, but they just let Martell live his life, and then they just laugh and giggle by what the things that he's going through. Anyways, Marceau gets there, and they kind of throw the ball around, almost kill the poor cameraman. They was like, oh shit, are you okay? Good thing he had that camera in his face, honey. I got shotgunned by a baseball before. It is not fun. Right in the chest. Boy, nigga couldn't do pitching ever again in life. Anyways, Martell tells them that he's about to be on the cover of Upscale, okay, and that he's going to have a get-together, I guess, celebrating the launch of the cover. Are you going to invite Sheree? And he says yes. So anyway, while they're talking, Martell tells them, in the past, I could tell, that my favor that I had, that it was gone, but I do feel like it's now coming back, a little bit. God is finally seeing it for Martell, so he's coming on back in his corner. God said, I ain't left you, baby. You left me. Everybody can have favor if you act right. Marceau said he can finally see that Martell is coming out from underneath the fog of divorce. Okay, and maybe it's making him a better man. Maybe. I mean, going through all of that, let's hope that you learn something. Better husband, better father, just a better human being all the way around. Have you talked to Sheree about maybe having kids? I mean, it's not impossible, you guys. Every time we get into these conversations about people being older and having babies, y'all get mad at me. I know Sheree is somewhere around my age. Sheree has grown kids. I would say that Sheree would be crazy to have a baby with Martell. It would be different if she didn't have any kids and, she was just starting out, but nigga, we ain't got full grown ass kids just to go and make another one with somebody younger. Like, no. Okay, I would hope that Martell, with all of his 5 kids he got, he shouldn't want another fucking baby with anybody. And y'all don't be like, you don't know what he might want. Him and Sheree. Y'all please don't be in my comments with that. Okay? I'm just saying. The girl can do whatever she wants. But the fact that he don't even claim her as a girlfriend, we shouldn't be talking about no damn baby no time soon. And in the meantime, Sheree just getting older, so child, that's whatever. Now, later on, we see Marceau. Marceau is at the office, and we finally meet the new business partner. His name is Gino. And Gino is a project manager. He's come from a large firm, wherever he's coming from, and now he's signed on with Marceau to help with Scolt. Marceau says that he hired on Gino because he has that big business way of thinking, okay? He wants him to scale it down to the small business that that Scolt is, but still give him those big business ideas, so he's going to be an asset to the company. So anyway, they're talking about the business and, Letitia being 85% owner. Marceau is explaining to Gino that, he's always bore the brunt of the responsibilities and the worries and anything that happened as far as the business is concerned. He handles it himself. He doesn't let the owner know because he feels like that's on a need to know basis. And that's something that she doesn't necessarily need to know. Gino tells him, you know what, that's not really how it should work. She is a part of this team. She is an asset. She should be the one that you turn to whenever there are issues, especially the fact that you guys are partners in this whole thing. And Marceau not really feeling it. He sees Letitia in the husband wife aspect, not as the business partner aspect. As far as he's concerned, she's never needed to know the bad. Gino was telling him, listen, in a business like this, you have to have checks and balances. Okay, that is the whole reason why you have a team of people. All right, you got one person that's making all the decisions, good, bad, or indifferent. Like, you need to have that in place. Don't put your wife in a box. I wish that when I was with my wife, he's divorced now, I'm assuming, that he would have let her in on a lot more things than he did, because that's exactly how you learn. You can't grow from something if you're not allowed to even make mistakes. He's just letting Marceau know that the way that you've been doing things, it might not necessarily be the best way. I said, look at Letitia. Letitia had a problem with this man taking her office, and she don't know that Gino was a heaven sent, okay? God sent that boy down there so he can talk some sense into Marceau. You know how it is with men, child. You can, as a wife, you can tell them something 100,000 times. You know what? They don't listen to you. Let one of their friends come and tell them all of a sudden, you know, I was talking to Gino, and Gino said, oh, that's what Gino said, huh? And nigga, I've been telling you this for 4 years. You ain't said nothing about it. Now all of a sudden it's just groundbreaking. It's all inspiring. You can't believe. Listen to your damn wife sometimes. So while Gino is telling Marceau this, you know, Marceau is totally blown because he ain't never really looked at things this way. Now, speaking of Letitia, we see Letitia, she goes to see Kimmy. And side note, despite my frustrations with what may be going on the show, even though this episode was actually kind of refreshing, you know, it wasn't the regular arguing and blaming shit on, you know, Mel, or blaming shit on Martell, or blaming shit on Letitia, like, or Kiki, or, you know, it was just like, it wasn't super exciting, but it was still kind of refreshing to see. One thing I do really like, though, is that everybody has stepped up their game. Everybody looks great. Hair is right. Makeup is right. Clothes is right. You know, sometimes they look like they're overdressed. But, honey, they definitely have stepped up the game. Like I said on Twitter last night, they realize that they have arrived in this reality show game, that they are a show that people actually mention, talk about, you know. So now they represent themselves differently, and I love it. I love to see black women when they just look really, really good. Everybody looks good this season. But I said that because when Letitia came to visit Kimmy, you know, Kimmy looked really nice in her striped dress that she had on. I thought Letitia looked beautiful. That blonde color, you guys always, well, not you guys, but people always think that just because you're darker skinned that you can't wear light color hair or blonde hair and all that. And as long as you get the right hue of blonde, it looks good. She looked beautiful. Okay. And I even thought that Mel, when she got there, she looked great as well. So anyway, Letitia and Kimmy are just sitting and talking. And Kimmy is showing Letitia where maybe she could set up her new office. It's an old podcast room that Maurice used to use. You know, he ain't using it no more. So maybe Letitia can move her stuff in there. I said, girl, have you talked to Maurice about it? Anyway, they start talking about the spa day, you know, and Kimmy thought that it was cool that Letitia had invited everybody, including Mel. You know, she just likes the fact that after that disastrous last season that everybody is trying to, you know, kind of lick their wounds, swallow their pride, work together again. And Letitia said, yeah, she could tell that Kiki was about to go crazy on everybody. So, you know, she knew she had to shut that down real quick. But other than that, they had a good time. And Kimmy was like, yeah, that's all she wanted. You know, just the fact that the ladies can discuss it, put it on the table, and move forward. So now she feels like maybe they can get back to the way that they used to be. She's invited Mel, okay? And Letitia wasn't prepared for Mel, but it's okay. Mel comes in. Mel ain't on no bullshit. Letitia ain't on no bullshit. Kimmy is trying to bring them together. So I see that they're trying to get past this last season. Okay, I will hand it to everybody. Everybody is definitely trying. There is that little naggy part of me in the back of my mind that's just like everybody is being extremely fake just to get through this season. But it's just sort of like, what do we want? Do we want them to get along? Do we want them to fight all the time? Like, what do we want? The only way that they can get past this is they've got to learn how to be around each other again. It doesn't feel fake, but it definitely feels like there's an elephant in the room that's being ignored, okay? But maybe over time it will pass. So Mel was just like,
you know, I'm hoping that we're able to move, you know, to a better place than where we were 4 months ago.
She's not sure if it's going to happen, but here we are. At least everybody's willing to give it a good go. So Kimmy is all, you know, hopeful. And this is the collective, you know, the way that they used to be before everything fell apart. You know, they can get back to it. Mel was just like, well, I just kind of feel like there was a lack of respect. Maybe it was a lack of respect on everybody's part, not just one person in particular's part. You know, folks just don't see it for each other, so you don't necessarily respect people that you don't like. Maybe they can have an etiquette person come in and help them. So I guess, in other words, have somebody come in and teach them how to act like some grown-ass adults. Letitia brings up the fact that she has an idea for an ESPO, E-S-P-O. I said, if she say ESPO one more time, child, can we just get a hard X on there? Expo. Because Letitia feels like everybody is smart, you know, and that they have all these gems that are locked away that they could actually share with the community. Then Tisha go tell us in the confessional that her and Kimmy are the core of the group. And that was an interesting statement that she made. While I'm watching the show, I'm noticing that they are giving the Scotts a whole lot more screen time, and Letitia and Marceau in particular. I'm trying to decide or figure out if they are trying to, you know, not necessarily, I don't know if it's phasing Martell and Mel out, but it's phasing Martell and Mel out. Okay. They are not together anymore. So now we've got to refigure out where everybody lands on this show. And in the meantime, who is the focus couple? So I think it's going to be Marceau and Letitia now. And I don't know, you know, I feel like Mel probably could leave the show. You know, I think that she's over it. I'm sure that this is a salary that she doesn't want to get rid of, like most people that get reality show salaries. And the bigger the show gets, the more money you get. That's a whole lot of money out of your pocket if you leave the show. So, you know, I think everybody is just trying to figure out where they're going to be when this show, you know, at the end of the day with this show. But did you guys notice that they're starting to show the Scotts, Marceau and Letitia, way more? So, you know, it was cool. I like I said, I can appreciate the fact that the three ladies got together and that everybody seems to be trying. Now, we see Letitia at home. She's trying to get her presentation together for this, you know, expo, this business expo that she got coming up. And so she's talking to Marceau about it at the house. She wants his feedback. What do we discuss at the expo? You know, creating businesses as Black people, you know. And he says, you know, speaking of businesses, I was talking to Gino the other day, and he had just laid some shit out for me that just kind of took me by surprise. Oh, really? Do tell, Marceau. Yeah, baby, you know, he said that I shouldn't shield you from stuff when it comes to businesses. You know, that's the only way that you should learn is the fact that you know everything that's going on in the business and that we are partners. Marceau says, I looked at it as, you know, me protecting you, protecting my partner from all of the bad. But he said, no, that is actually creating a weaker and a stronger person. You know, I was considering myself the stronger person, but in turn, I'm making you weaker because you are clueless as to what's going on in your own damn business. He said that he thought that he was helping, but now he realized that he was choking the life. He was choking the life out of her, and that's not what he wants to do. He wants his wife to prosper. They are a team, and that's what he intends to be from here on out. And, you know, Letitia's just looking, and she almost looked like she wants to cry. I was like, girl, that ain't no look of crying. That's one of them looks of, nigga, I've been telling you this for years. And then all of a sudden you want to listen, okay? But then that was going to start an argument. That's the other thing I meant to tell you guys is that when you know that you already told them something and they act like they still hadn't heard it until now, you know what? Instead of just getting into a fight, just be like, oh, okay, I'm glad Gino told you that. Even though I've been telling you that for 4 or 5 years now. So, you know, Letitia was like, I'm so glad that I didn't give up. You know, she's been telling him this over and over and over. He finally gets it. Whichever way he gets it, come hook or crook. Okay, good for him. Now, this Black Business Expo. So, Marceau and Letitia have invited the group. Okay, the original 6, the comeback group, if you will. They want to have a little meeting with them so they can discuss, you know, the Black Business Expo. So they're there first. And then, you know, Martell gets there. He notices the way the chairs are set up. He was like, whose chair is this? You know whose chair that is. That's Mel's chair. Okay. He was just like, oh, hell no. You know, we got some shit going on. So let's put her chair over there. I said, oh, you ain't want to walk her? I was like, oh, you don't want to sit next to her? You was walking her out just a couple of days ago. Okay. they tell us in the confessional that the word on the street is that Mel finally has a new guy, and I guess Martell has found out about it, so they've been having some drama. On top of that, we knew that they were going through this custody battle, and so Mel and Martell in real life, is having issues right now, which is also very hard being on this show. You got to be cordial to this nigga, although he didn't stressed you out all week about this damn court case and everything. I got to hand it to her. I got to hand it to Mel, okay? Being able to just get there and smile and be cute, knowing that you want to reach across that table and sock that nigga in his jaw. I was like, don't worry, Martell. Mel was going to move that chair when she got there anyway, so you ain't had to worry about that. Anyway, the rest of the group, everybody gets there. And, okay, so what we here for? So Letitia starts telling them about the Black Business Expo. First of all, do you guys like that name, Black Business Expo? Yeah, we like Expo even better, but I mean, Expo would do too. So what is it that we gonna be doing? Okay, well, she had already kind of told Kimmy and Mel, they figured that they would have this big expo to invite people in the community, and they would have vendors there, people that are talking about whatever their respective profession is, and that they're able to express this to the community to possibly help other people that don't know where to start, are interested in getting the help or the knowledge or whatever. She wants to do this for the community. Very commendable. I mean, she can tell them something about realty. Okay, REALATY. She got black, they've got sculpt. So they've got a lot of things that they can teach people. And now to me, it sounds like she was promoting her business, but I think she was just giving her examples. So Kimmy is just like, okay, so what exactly is it that you're asking us to do? Is this an event that you guys are having planned for yourselves and you just want us to come and, speak at it? Or is this something that all of us are doing? Well, Letitia wants them all to do it, but the way that she has presented it, it just looks like it's their event and they're going to have the other the other couples come. And so Mel was just like, yeah, that's all good and everything. But, I'm just wondering, what's y'all budget? Budget? Yes, because if you're going to have people speaking, usually I get paid. Mel was just like, baby, we ain't friends like that. Okay, I'm not coming to help you in any kind of business capacity without getting paid. That's called doing a favor. I'm not doing a favor for you. Okay, this is all cute and everything. I'm trying to act nice and trying to meet you halfway on things, but no, we ain't doing this shit for free. And I think Kimmy was feeling the same way because they were just sort of like, if you get a huge sponsor, $100,000, who is getting that money? Are you sharing it with the vendors? Or is that just something that's lining Marceau and Letitia's pocket? And Letitia was just like, oh, I hadn't even thought about that. I wasn't charging nobody to come to the event. So her thing was like, okay, all this was going to be free. So she wasn't going to charge for the event. However, she can charge for the event if she feels like she's got to pay her vendors or pay her speakers that are going to be there, But like she said, if you get a sponsor from Kroger for $100,000, now what's happening? Is the collective coming back to get this damn money? Well, Letitia and them would have to discuss that. It doesn't sound like Letitia was opposed to paying, but that's a little different than what she had planned on doing. Okay. But she hadn't even thought about it. But yeah, that's stuff that you need to think about when you're talking about stuff like this, especially when you're having speakers. Okay. So, they lay all of that out on the table. Did Marceau break out the chocolate in the bottle? And Kimmy was just like, I don't know what we toasting for because ain't nobody agreed to anything. We haven't resolved anything. We're not saying that we're a part of this group. What is the group anyway? This is the comeback group all over again? No. So, they get their champagne glasses and they're like, to the Black Business Expo. And Kimmy don't pick up her glass. Mel was just like,
you know what, Kimmy, if Kimmy don't just pick up this glass and come on and do this toast so we can go.
Okay. But Kimmy was like, no, this ain't the proverbial handshake on the business deal. I need to be clear on what's going on here. Shit, if it's going to just be you guys' event that you want us to support, we ain't got to be having a whole bunch of meetings and everything. So I'm kind of with Kimmy on that. I understand where her and Mel was coming from. I mean, I don't think that Tisha was trying to be underhanded and sneaky and shit, but I don't think Letitia has thought it all the way out. Okay. And yeah, Kimmy and Mel did bring some things for her to think about. So I mean, it's cool, y'all. We just got to try to figure out what's going to happen with this show. I can tell that they are trying to change the tone of the show. I can tell, and I see what they're trying to do. It's just sort of like, are the viewers going to be okay with that? How did you guys feel about this episode? All right, you guys, let me get on off of here. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It's Rox, or Roxanne, or Rox, or Roxy, or Rocky, whatever you want to call me. And this channel is for It's Rox. Nope, it's just It's Rox. Okay. And everything else I do will be in the bar below. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.